They were kidnapped, imprisoned, and erased from history. They were daughters, sisters, students, taken from their homes and forced into one of history's darkest systems of wartime sexual slavery. Who were Japan's comfort women? Between 1932 and 1945, Japan operated the largest organized system of sexual slavery in modern history. They called them comfort women. There was nothing comforting about what happened. The Imperial Japanese Army forced an estimated tens of thousands to as many as 400,000 women and girls into a system of institutionalized sexual slavery in military brothels, euphemistically called comfort stations. The system was characterized by extreme brutality, coercion, and dehumanization. The Japanese military forcibly abducted up to 200,000 women, mostly from Korea, China, and the Philippines, Burma, the Dutch East Indies, and beyond. Some were taken at gunpoint. Others were lured with promises of work. Many never returned home. Some were as young as 12 years old. They were told they'd work in factories or serve as nurses. Instead, they were locked in military brothels and raped by dozens of soldiers every single day. These weren't random acts of violence. This was official military policy. Documents prove the Imperial Japanese Army established comfort stations across occupied territories, registered the women like inventory, and enforced brutal medical examinations. Women who resisted were beaten, tortured, or killed as examples. Many were infected with diseases. Some were sterilized. Those who became pregnant were forced to abort or murdered. The worst part? Japan tried to erase this from history. At the end of the war in 1945, Japanese officials destroyed most documents related to the system in an attempt to cover up the crime. Many survivors were abandoned or killed. The few who made it home faced immense shame and became societal outcasts due to the stigma surrounding sexual violence in their conservative societies. For decades, the history remained largely hidden until survivors began to break their silence in the early 1990s. Following the democratization of the Republic of Korea, South Korea, a Korean former comfort woman came forward publicly for the first time in 1991. When women like Kim Hak-sun began to publicly share their testimonies, demanding an official apology and legal compensation from the Japanese government, her action led hundreds of other women in Korea, the Philippines, and elsewhere to come forward, demanding an official apology and legal compensation from the Japanese government. At first, the Japanese government evaded responsibility for the human rights violations in the comfort women system, blaming private contractors and individual traffickers. But in 1992, historian Yoshiaki Yoshimi discovered documents in the archives of Japan's National Institute for Defense Studies that proved the direct involvement of the government and the military in the establishment and operation of comfort stations. In 1993, the government was forced to issue the so-called Kono Statement, which acknowledged the Imperial Japanese government's role as well as the use of force and deception in the recruitment of comfort women. Hundreds of similar documents have been discovered since. In 1995, Japan established the Asian Women's Fund, which distributed the Prime Minister's signed letter of apology, along with atonement money, funded through donations from Japanese people. Some victims accepted the atonement money, while others refused it, criticizing it as an attempt to avoid providing formal reparations. Meanwhile, survivors are dying. Only a handful remain alive. They spent their final years protesting outside Japanese embassies, holding signs with their faces, demanding the simple acknowledgement that what happened to them was real. This isn't ancient history. The last official comfort station closed the same year World War II ended. Some survivors lived into the 2020s. Their trauma was fresh, their pain unresolved, and their justice denied until death.